Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Authorities in Cottington County are investigating the death of a child. The sheriff's office was called to a home in Watertown Wednesday morning for a 2-year-old who was unresponsive.
Authorities did not say how the child died. The Division of Criminal Investigation is helping with the case. South Dakota lawmakers are moving forward with a proposal to legalize adult-use marijuana. The bill now goes to the executive board, which will decide if it should be introduced in the 2022 session.
The South Dakota Supreme Court is still deciding whether Constitutional Amendment A should take effect. It was approved by voters almost a year ago to legalize recreational marijuana. The state is also scheduled to start issuing medical cannabis cards no later than November 18th. The new executive director of South Dakota Corn has exciting plans for bringing producers and policymakers together.
Danita Murray has her goals set high, and she plans to work in connecting South Dakota corn growers with policymakers about issues that matter to the ag industry. She admits this will be a challenge, but she is excited to share her knowledge with both sides.
What I bring to the table is knowledge, not about their operations and about what they do every single day, but I bring knowledge to the table about the process. So my job is to make sure they understand the process so that they can be the messenger and I can get out of the way once they have information that I have and that helps them get through to their lawmakers in a really, in a smart way and in a way that furthers their goals and interests in the best way possible.
She has experience working in Washington, D.C. with a background in ag law and policy.
Now let's send it over to meteorologist Scott Munt in the Storm Center. Dry today, but the wind picking up a bit again, Scott.
That's right. We already have strong winds across western and central South Dakota from the northwest, sustained about 20 to 30 miles per hour. And we may see a couple of gusts near 40 as we do go through the late morning hours and into the afternoon. Those strong winds will eventually transition into eastern KELOLAND for today, and that will help clear the skies as it brings in some drier air. Cooler for Halloween. We are looking at cooler weather to come in from the north and northwest. And I'll just call it cold next week. Afternoon highs in the 30s and low 40s. More details on the KELOLAND Live Doppler forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Well, it won't be school as usual today or tomorrow for students at a Rapid City Elementary School. Grandview Elementary School will be closed for at least 2 days because of a staffing shortage. Students will be learning remotely. The superintendent says 50 students and staff members have tested positive for COVID-19 since Sunday of last week.
Because of a new district policy, the superintendent is not allowed to close a school because of the pandemic. In this case, she could close Grandview because there isn't enough staff. District officials will monitor the situation to see if the closure needs to continue next week. A partnership could help remove barriers for people wanting to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
The Sioux Falls Health Department and Helpline Center are working together to help groups gain access to the shot. Any person, organization, or business in Sioux Falls wanting to hold a COVID-19 vaccination event for a group can request assistance to make it happen.
To request a vaccination event, call the Helpline Center at 211 or fill out a form on the city's website. You can find the link to it in this story right here on KELOLAND.com.
A Sioux Falls restaurant is celebrating the retirement of one of its longtime employees.
Dorothy Holmbeck started working at the Burger King on 41st Street in 1983. Now, after 38 years on the job, she's decided to retire. But the fast food joint couldn't let her do that without a little celebration.
I feel happy. I feel glad. I'll miss the Burger King family, but now it's time to do other things, travel and spend more time with my grandchildren and my kids.
Several co-workers, customers, family, and friends joined her for cake and ice cream to celebrate. She says the friendliness of everyone has kept her dedicated to her job all these years.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, weather today, well, featuring that clearing trend from west to east. You'll see that as rain showers in Minnesota and Iowa departing. Temperatures will likely top out in the middle 50s for several areas of KELOLAND, but that wind makes it feel colder. It'll be northwest and north at about 20 to 35 miles per hour. Tonight even we'll have the wind around in Sioux Falls, although western South Dakota will drop off. And then that's going to set up a really nice autumn day tomorrow. Be intentional about that. Go outside, get some nice time if you can to enjoy those 60s that return to western South Dakota, because they will be short-lived. We get another front already coming through northwestern South Dakota Saturday morning, and then that'll reach Sioux Falls by the evening. And it looks like next week, watch this. We're looking at the replacement of the above normal, briefly above normal weather, with a lot of blue on the maps in the midsection of the country, and that represents a fairly significant change for the first few days of the month, as we average temperatures at least 5 to 10 degrees below the averages, and there's some potential to adjust that a little more. So continue to watch the forecast. 55 today, that's our going high in Rapid City. About 55 also in Sioux Falls as skies become partly cloudy. The 7-day, we run those 40s back by Halloween, and then cooler weather after that, as we see highs in the mid-30s there by Wednesday. The numbers for Aberdeen also mid-upper 50s through the early part of the weekend, then dropping into the 40s, and eventually we could be looking at 30s by Wednesday. It's also looking cooler for Pierre, Central Ketherland, those highs in the 40s by Sunday. So overall, though, not any blockbuster big storm tracks here. It's just colder weather. There may be some snow, though, in the Black Hills on Sunday into early Monday as that front passes through. Check out the latest details with our Storm Center update. That's available right now at KETHERLAND.com, and have yourself a great Thursday.